What do you believe, Agent?
What's the truth?
That Lau was a traitor? That Kelso has betrayed you? And that I am your enemy?
A friend. An ally.
You want the truth, Agent?
Real, no more lies. You might not like answers.
Come find me.
Welcome home, Agent. Apologies for the shock treatment back in New York, but we had to make sure you were ready to join us. I'm not sure where your loyalties lie, since you've killed me once already. Kelso is confident in your abilities, but I don't let just anyone join my organization. Had to learn that one the hard way. So, I put together a little test to see if you're ready to see how deep the rabbit hole really goes. I hope, when we finally meet face to face, you will understand who is the real threat to the division. Happy hunting, Agent.
Following on from last season, we learned that the original first wave rogue agent, Aaron Keener, was still alive. On top of this, Kelso has decided to turn rogue and join up with them. The line between good and bad, agent and rogue, continues to blur as we find out that Keener was working with Fei Lau to take down the Black Tusk and eliminate the hunters. Once again, Keener has reached out to us, extending an invite to join him. Is an alliance with him the key to stopping Natalia and the Black Tusk? Can Keener be trusted? Regardless, we need to prove our worth and pass his trials before we're given that choice to make. Heading towards the Judiciary Square district, agents hunt out the first target Keener has put forth as our trial that will determine not just our allegiance, but the moral ground we will follow. The cinder block-controlled checkpoint is more than just a hyena-flooded location, but a hostile stronghold that was waiting to be pulled apart. After the attack, and then the eradication of several waves attempting to take back the compound, Anna could be heard over the comms.
Go away! More ammo!
Cold. Echo, you're straying from the path.
Leading on from here, agents were to meet up with an enemy that they had already put in place once upon a time, at the District Union Arena. After sweeping through, with nothing other than the new directives that the agent had stupidly put in place before the attack, they pushed forward. Walking through the compound, murdering all that get in their path, the agents would eventually meet up with the leader occupying the area. With no effort at all, the agents would take down the boss, where once again, Anna could be heard over the comms.
Echo, you are straying from the path. If you ever want to know what Vanguard truly wants, follow the breadcrumbs.
Hunting down a high-value target in the Judiciary Square district, they would come across Hannah Dryad. After taking her down, Anna would pipe up.
Follow the breadcrumbs.
The path Keener has laid out for us, this feels like more of a game for the sassy Anna and Keener. Running forward towards another control point, the agents would find themselves again pitted against the hyenas. Awful directives aside, they were able to disrupt the advances of the hostile forces, and would once again be greeted by an ambiguous message from Anna.
I hit him!
Echo, you're very good at following directions.
We did it!
Are you ready to go off the path?
Yet again, there is another high-value target in the district that the agents are being directed towards. This time there is two of them that need to be hunted down. After finding and then mowing down one of the targets, Anna could be heard taunting the agents.
Well done, Echo. Almost there. Get ready to claim your prize.
Next, the agents are directed towards the police headquarters. Marching through the facility, killing everything in sight, they would eventually come across the high-value target.
Well done, Agent. You've passed the first test. I hope you found it, illuminating. Bridge was very good at pretending to be the person you wanted her to be. It was her special talent. After the poison, people stopped pretending. Bridge stopped pretending. Try to fix the mistakes she helped create. And now for your next challenge. Patience. I'll let you know when we're ready to start the next trial. Hercules.
Why do you think Keener called us Hercules? I mean, I'm not complaining. I much prefer it as a codename over Sheriff. With Faye as Cassandra and us as Hercules, the only thing that comes to mind, because I have kids, is... But I can only see licensing issues here, so that can't be the case.
Your dad is in D.C., right?
Yep, joined one of the civilian settlements.
You don't want to make him more comfortable in one of Nat's apocalypse bunkers?
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Trouble in paradise?
More like eternal rivalry and hostile takeovers. My dad is a lot of things, but ready to bend the knee to Nat is not one of those things.
If you brought him in...
Honestly, I don't want to. I'm his daughter, but he doesn't know me. Not in any way that really matters.
You're Daddy's perfect recruiting tool.
Yeah, I would rather be his daughter than the honeypot.
You are an excellent honeypot. Well, that gives me an idea.
I don't want to know.
It's nothing dangerous. Could be fun.
Yeah. That's how it starts and ends with a bunch of senators' fingers trying to get into the jar. But you do what you have to do to close the deal, right?
You really hate him, don't you?
I wish I did. He's still my dad. And it was either be the arm candy who sweetened the deal or be broke and homeless. So I smiled and was what everyone wanted me to be. The perfect daughter who didn't mind getting her cheeks pinched by dirty old men at max benefits. If it meant we got the contracts renewed.
Keener is talking to Bridget Viper Douglas about her dad. We're going back quite a while here in the timeline, filling in some more of the gaps in the story we've heard up until now. This one digs deep into Viper's relationship with her father. It sounds like she was more of a business tool to be utilized than a daughter.
Looks like Daddy Dearest is moving up in the world.
Sure, if you consider being a range master in the White House basement a move up instead of lateral or down.
It should be more secure.
Sure.
More prestigious, at least.
Or it makes him look like a traitor and the leader of a military coup.
That Nat spin?
Not yet, but soon enough. Foreign weapons manufacturer backs sale of rogue agents who have taken the White House.
They're not rogue.
Not according to Isaac, but it's just a matter of time before she turns all of this to her advantage.
You really think she can pull it off?
She already has. If Claire hadn't tied her tech to the Shade Network, she would have sacked the White House, eliminated all the agents, and installed her puppet as the president. But Ellis went missing and she crippled her tech, so plans change.
Here they are talking about her father and how he has taken refuge in the White House. It's interesting how Viper talks about the crew in the White House, from Natalia's point of view, a cell of rogue agents who have taken hold of the White House. Viper even mentions something we've been expecting for a while, for Natalia to have us flagged as rogue. However, because of how the SHD network was set up alongside Anna and Diamond, her own tech, Natalia seems to have run into a few problems. Claire Ortiz knew what she was doing when linking all of the tech together.
Well, he's not dead.
That's a shame.
Beyond all reasonable odds, he survived the crash and was with the hyenas. Nat stashed him with the council until she could get the warhounds back online.
Proxy wars and supplying local resistance to weaken your enemies. She really is pulling from all the playbooks.
Well, she is her father's daughter.
More of an ice queen than a honeypot, though.
To you, maybe.
Where's Ellis now?
At the White House.
They don't know he's working with Nat?
No, they don't. And there's really no way to tell them without getting on someone's radar that we really don't want to be on.
Again, these comms are from super early on. President Ellis has survived the plane crash and is being held by the hyenas. We suspected at the time that this had been organized by the Black Tusk, but this confirms it. Natalia had the hyenas look after him until she was ready to launch the initial attack on Washington, D.C. Ellis would then be rescued by the White House agents, including the return of his briefcase. We did some of their job for them.
Well, we have him.
Who?
Chicken Hawk.
Am I supposed to know who Chicken Hawk is?
Yeah, sorry. POTUS, Ellis, Black Tusk had him in custody.
Did you take the White House?
Not yet, but it's a matter of time.
We're not ready.
I know.
You have to stall them.
If you've got any bright ideas...
Where are they holding him?
Camp White Oak.
Okay, Luna still has access to their database and comms. Luna can leak his location and buy us some time. The network's almost ready. We just need a couple more weeks.
They've obviously been planning to attack the White House for a long time. It would seem that the setbacks we've been causing them was the only reason the Black Tusk hadn't attacked much earlier on. Luna was one of Keena's rogue agents. Before the outbreak, she had extensive experience working as a contractor in the security industry. So with her skill set, alongside Viper, and very soon Fei Lao, these are the events that would lead up to the moment of Ellis's death. As we continue on with Aaron Keena's trials, we are now confronted by the second obstacle, Hercules. We're starting to learn a lot more around Keena's plans, from as early on as before the dollar flu outbreak, while keeping in mind that he is still the #1 enemy to the division, and someone we've been hunting since long before we learned of the Black Tusk. He seems to be preaching an element of truth across the cryptic messages that he's been leaving behind. Heading towards the downtown East District, agents are required to recapture the Red Dragon control point. Completely under the control of the True Sons, the agents called in for reinforcements, and it wasn't long before the compound had been cleared out. After the attack, and then the eradication of several waves attempting to take back the area, Anna could be heard over the comms.
Hercules, use your strength and cunning to slay the lion.
Next, the agents would be alerted of a few high-value targets that are patrolling the district. Tracking the first one down led the agents through a courtyard and then eventually up to the rooftops, where the target would quickly be taken down.
Detected.
One more shot, nice.
If you want to slay the Hydra, Hercules, you'll need Vanguard's help. But you need to finish the trials first.
On their way to their next HVT, they come across another hostile strongpoint being held by the True Sons. As this is an important patrolling and scavenging route for friendlies, the agents decided it was worth taking the extra time to remove the hostile presence.
It could be worse, Hercules. Vanguard could have made you clean the stables.
With the path now clear, the agents make their way to the next high-value target. Sick of constantly having a lack of ammo due to the world directives, they decide to move on to a much lazier build.
Capture the Hind, Hercules, and your trials will be complete.
You got the target. Target down. Good job. You got the target.
Finally, they will be summoned to the final target inside the Empire Autumn Hotel. Making their way through the building, the hostile guards proved very little of a challenge to the overpowered sniper shotgun build. Mostly.
Agent out of mission. Congratulations, Agent. You survived the trials. I hope you're beginning to appreciate the reach of my network. And considering what you could bring to the table, that's enough for now, Hercules. The next test is for Leto. I hope you're up to the challenge.
Target neutralized. Good work.
How does it feel
How does what feel, Keener?
to kill your sister?
Fuck you, Keener.
You had no other choice.
I wouldn't have done it if I did.
You did the right thing.
Your approval makes me feel so much better.
We're supposed to be a phoenix, but you're a lioness.
What are you talking about?
Fierce, loyal, working for the pride, protecting the king while he sits on his throne, getting fat off the kills you provide him.
We're not talking about lions anymore, are we?
How do you feel knowing Calvin McManus could have prevented all of this and chose not to?
Enough of your riddles, Keener.
Now, you have no reason to believe me, but since you trust him so much, maybe you'll believe Isaac.
Okay, so, you're obsessed with Gordon Amherst and believe he may be a threat to national security, but can't prove that, and all you have to go on is some rants about climate change?
And his association with Vitaly Chernenko.
Vitaly... what now?
Chernenko, Russian virologist who specializes in 3D printing.
These comms are starting to cross over with the Descent comms. As a reminder, Agent Melanie Hoskins was the protagonist in the Division Hearts on Fire, where she was forced to kill her sister who was working with the cleaners. This appears to be the conversations that went on between some of the other intel we've received in Descent, where Keener is attempting to open her up to the bigger picture regarding Calvin McManus and the poor calls he has made up until this point. This seemed to be what helped bring Hoskins into working towards Keener's vision.
Well, Mac's dead.
How did it happen?
Oh, she didn't die. Well, not yet, but she will. She just signed her death certificate.
She didn't join Nat's little army.
She did not. She opened her house, and now all the refugees are wearing Merit Classic teas while drinking the family reserve and going to turn the Rose Garden into a farm for the community.
Well, she was always a humanitarian at heart.
She's not the one that got away, Keener.
Have to admire a woman with those means, choosing community over her personal safety.
You sound like a lovesick puppy, you know that?
What can I say? I love complicated women.
Yeah, Mac is a lot of things, but good for you is not one of them.
You're a good friend, Bridge.
I'm not that good of a friend. Besides, as much as Mac and you would make a horrible couple, I'm more worried about what Nat would do to you.
Why would Nat care if Mac and I got together?
Let's just say you wouldn't be the first suitor she got rid of. You think she's two-faced? She's a hydra, and each head would be more than happy to destroy the competition.
Leading up to the Paradise Lost incursion, Natalia was attempting to have Mackenzie Merritt well under her thumb in one of her bunkers. But as we find out here, Mac had no intention of working with Nat. Keener seems to be absolutely infatuated with her, but obviously that hate-hate relationship between Natalia and Mac led to her organizing the attack on the Merritt estate. After rescuing Mac, she is now out of Keener's reach at the Haven settlement.
How's the family?
Good. Stable.
I guess it's a good thing you had family with a farm that could take them in.
Yeah, lucky.
How did your aunt afford to buy the farm upstate?
Real story or cover story?
Cover story.
A long-lost uncle, 3 times removed, died, and we inherited the property. She was struggling to find a place to live, and we agreed to let her live there for free. She kept it up and let the family visit and have a vacation from time to time.
Real story?
I used my division bonus to buy a backup plan.
Smart. I used my division salary to cover alimony to my second ex-wife and bought some crypto.
Really?
Yes. In hindsight, you are much better at investing than I am.
Always invest in real estate. Especially real estate that has hidden bunkers and panic rooms.
Following on from the comms received recently in Descent, I'll pop this video up into the top right-hand corner now. Keener was able to help relocate Agent Hoskins' husband and son to a family farm further upstate. But one thing that this intel has confirmed for us is that Division agents are paid. I've always wondered about this. It's somewhat been hinted at in the past, but this is the first time we've actually had this confirmed. And it sounds like the bonus they get must be quite significant.
We are not talking about this.
Come on. I just want to know how much control she has over the manufacturing process.
As much as someone who has the money and understands the fundamentals, but wouldn't pick up a soldering iron for fear of it messing up her nails or pantsuit.
So, complete control in all the ways that matter.
Sure, corporate Keener. Not really a fan of this version of your emotional evolution.
I'm just working on understanding where we went wrong so we can make sure we don't repeat the mistakes of the past.
I was wrong. I prefer corporate Keener to introspective Keener. This model makes me uncomfortable.
And we all need to evolve if we're going to survive.
Or you bend the knee.
How's that going for you?
Actively looking for a way to get Nat's leash off my neck.
You could stop wearing the Black Tusk girdle.
Oh, but if I did that, then your little plan won't work. Operation Cassandra depends on me staying in Nat's good graces.
Soon. We're almost ready. And after she lost Heather to budget cuts, I think we can land the Cyclops.
Don't call her that. The eye patch is kinda hot.
Who's the lovesick puppy now?
Here, Keener breaks down Natalia's business structure and the way she manages it. The reference to Heather seems to be talking about Faye Cyclops Lau's sister, Heather Lau. While we were able to rescue her at some point many months after the arrival of the second wave, the JTF pulled back on patrols in downtown Manhattan, believing it was safe. This resulted in the death of Heather at the hands of the Rikers when they attacked a civilian settlement in Hell's Kitchen. We've made it to the third stage of Keener's trials, Leto. Intel continues to flood in around what Keener has been planning, but now we're getting a glimpse of how Kelso's colleagues reacted to a change of allegiance. Heading towards the downtown West District, the agent's first target is the World's End control point. While the compound was overrun with hordes of outcast fanatics, the agents got straight to work cleansing the area. After the attack, and then the eradication of several waves attempting to take back the area, Anna could be heard over the comms.
A natural healer, Leto. Let's see if you can earn the respect of the deathless gods.
Next, Keener's trials would direct the agents towards multiple high-value targets that could be found roaming the streets within the district. It wouldn't take long to find the first one. Following the path of destruction, they would quickly catch up and eliminate the threat.
Leto, since you eliminated Termite, we need a new healer. Are you up to the challenge?
You got the target.
While hunting down the next target, the agents were made aware of another facility being used as a stronghold by the outcasts.
You're not immortal, Leto. Don't forget to bring an extra med kit.
Heading towards the south of the district, the agents stalk the next target. Mowing down hordes of hostiles, they would eventually be confronted by the target, who just happened to be some big burly fellow taking a sledgehammer for a walk. After toying with him for a bit, Anna would once again be heard over the comms.
You're dead.
Leto, you fascinate me. You fight to protect your community, while destroying another, because Isaac tells you to. Claire was right. Isaac really is not very sophisticated.
Target neutralized.
Now, the agents are able to move on to the final target. Located within the worksite community, they waste no time in making their way there. After getting lost a couple of times and completely forgetting which door to open, regardless of how many times they've visited this area, they would eventually catch up to the target.
I'm glad glad you're starting to see the truth about your fearless leader, Manny. And there's only one more test you need to pass. Nix. Before I can tell you about Diamond.
You got the target. Nice.
She didn't do anything weird to you, right?
What do you mean weird?
You know, like, inject you with anything. Drugs, a tracker.
You have got to stop talking to Vic.
Seriously, other than the scan and the vitamins, did she give you anything? Did anything else happen that I should know about?
Yeah, actually. Every day, I would black out for like 8 to 10 hours.
Really?
Yeah. It's called sleep, Manny. You should take your own advice and go to bed.
I'm just trying to understand what happened so I can help and keep us safe.
You wanna help? Stop talking and give me a massage. Help me sleep so I can keep growing this human inside me.
You're right. You sure Nat didn't replace the baby with an antenna or a bomb?
Okay, that's enough Vic conspiracies. You really need to find some new friends.
We haven't heard from Manny in a while, and this new group of intel seems to be bringing us up to date with what he and Mari have been up to. This particular one is from not long after we rescued her, where Manny is asking some pretty ridiculous questions around what happened to Mari while she was in Natalia's care. The funny thing about some of this is that these were some of the outlandish theories that came from the community shortly after her rescue. Mari just mocks him though, and stands by the fact that Natalia did actually treat her quite well.
We found a note, but no idea where she could have gone.
She'll be okay. You know that woman can't be killed. She's too stubborn to die.
Yeah, I'm just worried Vic might be right.
You really have to stop listening to Vic. Go visit John or help Mel on the farm. Vic is not a good role model.
I know, I will, soon. I need to find out what happened to Kelso first.
Well, ask Jack and Wally if they can check the mobile shade server. Or have Birdie access Black Tusk's comms. They're probably looking for her too. And if she is a hunter, they're probably talking about it.
I tried. They've been quiet. Since White Oak, the comms have all been really quiet. I guess they took Birdie's security breach seriously.
The Black Tusk have gone dark. That's funny.
I think I preferred intercepting their shit-talking. It was oddly comforting, but now, it's just a black void with no intel, and the mobile shade server is picking up intel about Keener and some place called...
That's weird.
Yeah.
The server data is normally useful, right?
Yeah, in hindsight. But I can't make heads or tails of these comms. Does Isaac want us to go to...
Here's where it should start to get a little interesting. A lot of people have been asking about how Manny would have reacted to what happened with Kelso, and it looks like we're about to find out. Manny seems to have become quite tight with Vikram, which is surprising given that everyone knows what he's actually like. Our use of the mobile SHD server to grab information around Natalia and Calvin McManus has been shut down since before Agent Brian Johnson outed himself as being the recruiter. So there is no luck in pulling any information from here, other than bits and pieces around Keener and a place called Redacted, which seems to be pretty clearly talking about the now non-existent Silver Creek. I'll expand on this a little more soon.
Fuck! Okay, let it out. Let it out, it's healthy.
How the fuck could you do this to us?
Hey, you don't know what she's doing, okay?
She's coming to D.C. with them.
Yes, that is correct.
They are the most dangerous people on the planet.
No, they're not, Manny.
Who is more dangerous than Aaron fucking Keener?
Calvin McManus, Natalia Sokolova, Birdie, Mel, Dr. Summers, Vic when he opens his mouth, Daddy Douglas, me if you keep screaming like that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I've given up so much time and energy and I trusted her. This whole time, was she working with them? Was everything we did together a lie?
Hey, of course not. Kelso is complicated, but she's not a liar.
She's ex-CIA. You never know.
Yeah, she is ex-CIA because she's too fucking honest, and when she sees something wrong, she fixates on trying to fix it.
You're like way smarter than me, aren't you?
Oh, honey, of course I am. This isn't about you. This is about Faye and Diamond.
Diamond?
Yeah. Faye's mission. She was after Diamond. Kelso's been obsessed with figuring out what Diamond is.
Well, that's Sokolova's favorite shape. And Claire has a project code named Diamond.
So, Maybe that's what all of this is about, and because your comms are compromised, she's coming home to talk to you because it's not safe to share what she's found.
When did you get so optimistic?
Oh, it's the hormones. You know you can't trust pregnant women. We're all emotional and irrational and forget everything.
I like you pregnant. If it's possible, I think you're even more focused and intelligent and sexy.
Okay, mister. Okay, if you're gonna start something, you take the battery out of your comms. Eva's right. The Black Tusk know way too much about our sex life.
Good God. We've never heard Manny this upset before, even when they first abducted Mari. In case you missed it, this is where Manny has obviously just found out about Kelso teaming up with Kina. He also talks, or screams, about Diamond. As we learned many months ago, not in game time, Diamond is one of the 3 systems produced by Ortiz Robotics, alongside Anna and Isaac. The main difference being that Natalia didn't want an AI with Diamond. We can see this on all Black Tusk tech, as well as their uniforms. Kelso is working with Kina to break down this system and level out the playing field. On top of this, Manny mentions Claire Ortiz, so we know they are aware of Claire. Will we be hearing more about her in the current storyline? The question has always been, is she still alive? And if so, where is she? It sounds like she is still kicking around, and is most likely sitting in one of Cal's or Nat's bunkers. As much as we need Bard and Schaefer to wake up, she should be our number 1 target. She is the real key to taking down the Black Tusk. As a side note, kudos to the voice actors here, especially Manny. This was a well acted out piece of intel.
Keener thinks I don't know what he's doing.
Do you know what he's doing?
Not really.
Do you want to know?
Not really.
Do you think it would make a difference if you did know?
Honestly, probably not.
Okay. So what do you want to do?
Invent a time machine and go back to 2015 and shoot Gordon Amherst in the head.
Cool. So in this alternate timeline, you're in jail for killing a random professor, and I'm in Florida reintroducing Dolly to the Gulf after an oil spill and hoping she doesn't die.
Something like that.
Well, we never would have met. And this little girl we're making wouldn't exist.
You're gonna be such a good mom.
And you could be such a great dad, if you learn how to let go of the shit you can't control.
The 4th and final stage of Kina's trials, Nix. We're beginning to learn more about Kina's plans from as early on as before the dollar flu outbreak. But now we're getting a glimpse of what he's actually planning to do to take down Natalia and Calvin. Heading towards the West End district, the agents were alerted of a high-value target on 23rd Street Northwest. Fighting through an underground facility, it wasn't long before the outcast target was found. Once eliminated, Anna can once again be heard over the comms. Interestingly, Manny and Kina would end up responding to Anna, which would lead to her temporarily revoking their access.
Nix, follow the breadcrumbs.
Your stupid test is gonna get someone killed.
At least my test serves a greater purpose.
Temporarily revoking comms access to Aaron Keener and Manny Ortega. Will reinstate access as deemed required.
Anna, what did you do?
Apologies for the interruptions, Nix. Please continue.
Next, Anna's breadcrumbs would lead the agents down the road towards the overgrowth control point. Completely riddled with hyenas, the agents waste no time removing them from the facility, opening up the area for civilians to pass through the area on scavenging missions.
Hostiles, guarding location nearby.
Shot will kill you.
Follow the breadcrumbs, Nix, if you want to live.
Anna's next location would send the agents to the northern side of the district, to the New Venice control point, where the True Sons are using the compound as a stronghold. The True Sons really didn't put up much of a fight, which is fortunate because although the agents called in for ally reinforcements, they didn't arrive until the fight was over.
You're down the rabbit hole, and the only way out is through, Nix. Go through, Nix.
The agents would then be alerted to a dangerous target just down the road from their location. Chasing him down, he would prove no match for the agents.
What does darkness feel like, Nix? I've always wondered how humans perceive the darkness. Is it cold or quiet? Does it fill you with existential dread? I'm curious. For data purposes, of course.
After clearing another hostile stronghold, they would be directed to the last targets on Keena's hit list, Bobby Darkness McMoody and Sergeant Tommy Black. Fighting through buildings and across rooftops, the HVTs would eventually join the fight. However, having lost all of their stacks, it would take the agent a little while to eliminate them.
Congratulations. Looks like it's time for a status update. You've officially passed the test. After everything you've been through, I know it must be hard to trust you to do the trick. You're on the safe side. You want proof? I can show it to you. We've got Cal's roster and what we've set up in Brooklyn. I think you're impressed. Well, Agent, if you're ready to meet, I'll send the coordinates and be waiting with your signing bonus.
Reinstating comms access to Aaron Keener. Security alert. Shade communications between Manny Ortega and Aaron Keener intercepted by the Black Tusk. Hostiles en route to Vanguard's location.
Well, that's perfect. Agent, if you want my help, I need you to get to the bunker.
Updating mission objectives and coordinates.
Due to the reopening of the comms between Manny and Keena, the Black Tusk were able to pinpoint Keena's location, so the agents have no time to waste and head towards the Federal Emergency Bunker to meet up with him.
This is all of them?
Allegedly. Who knows who survived the first wave or the virus, or if he started recruiting off the books. But this is everyone who was enlisted for the program before we were activated.
We know the name of every wolf in sheep's clothing.
We know the name of every agent who believed we may need oversight.
Autonomous. We were promised autonomy, to use our judgment and ISAC's intelligence to make the right call.
And the powers that be decided we couldn't be trusted with that much power, so they needed guard dogs. Just in case.
Their mistake was getting a Labrador to tame a lion.
So this is Calvin McManus' roster that was mentioned previously. It's a list of all Division agents that had been recruited before activation. Back in the days of the Division 1, when Keena first turned rogue, this would have been terrible because he was hunting every agent he could find and killing those who didn't join him. However, now, things are a little different. Or are they? While I do believe his main goal is to stop Natalia and Calvin, what are his plans after this? Are the agents still in danger? Calvin never had faith in the agents having full autonomy. This is why he created the Hunter program, or the guard dogs that Hoskins mentions.
What are we doing?
Surviving.
It doesn't matter how many hunters we unmask. As long as they have access to their tech, they will be a threat.
Cal can always make new hunters.
And now, with Sokolova moving her troops, it's only a matter of time before they join forces.
Do you have a plan, or are you just thinking out loud?
I always have a plan. But you're not gonna like this one.
I never like your plans. But we've come this far.
We need a woman on the inside.
And you have one? A hunter?
Better than that.
How?
Best wing woman a guy could ask for. Just happens to be a Black Tusk embedded hunter.
No one is that connected.
Oh, Hoskins. You have no idea how connected I am.
Keena and Hoskins have been taking down hunters too, but they realize this is a fruitless task while the technology they use still exists. However, Keena has a plan, and it involves someone who isn't just embedded within the Black Tusk, but is also a hunter too. Bridget Viper Douglas.
I need you, Hoskins.
What is it now, Keener?
We need to set up a base of operations. We need a secure place, preferably where no one knows us, and we can start recruiting and training people for what's coming.
You can't have my farm, Keener.
Of course not. It's too remote. I want us to hide in plain sight.
Okay. Sounds like that's going to be more complicated than necessary given your profile. You've pissed off a lot of people.
I know. But, for better or worse, it just takes one person to change public perception. And if we have hundreds, well, that's a movement.
This piece of intel is interesting. Keena is wanting his own base of operations. I'd say this will be located in Brooklyn, as we know this is where the DLC will be taking place. We've heard so many comms of Kina rescuing and escorting people across the East River. I've talked about this previously, but I believe we will be traveling to an area that is full of people who are in complete support of Kina's mission.
How is our little experiment going?
Better than expected.
My reputation precedes me?
The civilians you and Theo rescued are spreading the gospel of rogues.
Perfect.
Theo may fuck it up for us, though.
How?
The girl. They're sleeping together. Pretty sure he's gonna get her pregnant.
Would that be so bad?
You know what were my least favorite calls when I was in the EMT?
No idea.
Labor. Best case, you get the patient to the hospital in time. Most of the time you end up covered in every kind of fluid and holding a screaming fragile baby that is probably gonna get some virus from whatever filthy floor we had to deliver on. Worst case, you lose both of them and have to watch some sad dad's world implode. I don't want that for Theo.
Aaron Kina joined the division to save the world. He was activated during the first wave in Manhattan to support the quarantine, which he considered a higher calling. But then, the government failed him. Abandoned by the JTF in the Dark Zone, Kina gave in to his worst impulses. Hurt and betrayed by those he swore to protect, Kina grew vengeful. Cold, cunning, ruthless, and highly intelligent, Kina sought to destroy Calvin McManus and his division. Kina would go on to recruit other disillusioned agents to join his rogue network. However, the more he recruited, the more he drew the attention of Calvin McManus and the Black Tusk. The division ordered Kina and his rogues to be eliminated. On Liberty Island, he was engaged in combat, where he was presumed dead after activating the rogue network. But the rogue activities continued across the nation, even after his death. After Agent Kelso returned to the Haven settlement in Lower Manhattan, he came out of hiding for a new mission, to recruit more people to fight against the Black Tusk and Calvin's hunters. Heading to the federal emergency bunker, the agents would quickly find out that the Black Tusk had beaten them to the location on the hunt to find Kina.
Hostile forces detected.
Welcome, Agent. Oh, and watch out for Glass's traps.
Lock the hatch.
Pushing through the compound, there were a number of obstacles that the agents would need to overcome, including power outages and traps put in place to slow them down.
Power online.
Power online. Wow, Isaac, your job is really boring.
They've reached the bunker. You're running out of time. Heads up, Agent. Hostiles incoming. I can't monitor the Black Tusk comms, or they aren't using them. Hostiles in the command center.
I'm going out!
Make the play!
Incoming hostiles detected.
Agent, that generator is gonna need time to restart. I know it's your favorite task. You need to protect the Jenny till it's back up and running.
Make it down!
The agents spent a fair amount of time in here struggling to walk in a straight line and locate the boxes, while literally having the health sucked out of them.
I recommend running.
Shooting down the traps became more of a compulsion in the end, rather than a necessity. However, the occasional one still got missed.
Vital signs critical.
Agent, I promise. No more decoys, no more deceptions, no more traps. Your trials are over. But before we go, we need to recover some of Anna's gear for the new recruits. Meet me inside.
Black Tusk deploying unauthorized warhound.
Watch my 6.
So there he is. The agents have finally met up with Kina after all this time. But before they can talk, there is an experimental warhound and a hell of a lot of striker drones to deal with first. After several practice runs,
Serious trauma detected. Distance needed.
the agents and Kina were finally able to remove the shields and take it down.
System curtailed.
I guess we should add destroy experimental warhound to your resume. Well done, Agent. Anna, we're ready to go.
Granting access to the rabbit hole escape route. Glad you are still with us, Vanguard.
You go ahead and do the division thing, salvage whatever you think might be useful. I need to meet Manny. I don't want to keep him waiting. I look forward to working with you, Agent. See you soon.
Agent, your trials are over. Return to the White House to claim your prize.
Agent? I can't believe I'm saying this. I need you to go to the basement of the White House. There's someone you should meet.
Hey, Agent. Welcome to my new home. The Panic Room. Manny's not ready to trust me. I can't really say I blame him. So as much as I'd like to be out in the field with you, it looks like our work will have to continue with a few conditions. For now.
What the hell was that?
Anna can be a little touchy.
Isaac has never done anything like that.
Isaac is a baby learning to crawl compared to Anna. She demands respect, and we forgot our place.
What if they need my help?
She'll reinstate your access. Don't worry. You're still the handler. She's just a little too dedicated to her programming. Once she starts the project, she has to see it to the finish, no matter what it takes.
You make her sound alive.
How do you define life, Manny?
Knock it off.
Do you want to live?
Of course.
Do you want your baby girl to be born in a war zone?
Of course not.
Then I propose a ceasefire.
This leads on from what I was saying in the last video about Anna. I believe Manny is referring to when Anna cut Manny and Kina's access to the comms mid-mission. What Kina says here, in justifying her actions, once she starts a project, she has to see it to the finish no matter what it takes. This sounds exceptionally dangerous to me. I'm saying it now. Anna is too smart and has far too much control. She will be a problem in the future.
We can help each other, Kelso.
I want to. God damn it, do I want to.
Once I showed her everything, she joined me. She trusts me.
Fine. Then show me everything you showed her.
Not like this. It has to be in person.
This is obviously one of the first times that Keener has spoken directly with Manny, and where he reaches out to propose a change of direction. Keener is offering the opportunity to show him everything he's found out, like he did with Faye and Kelso. So this is why Keener proposed meeting him at the White House, as we saw at the end of the mission. Of course, Manny, playing it safe, has Keener locked down in the panic room until they locate Kelso and he feels he can trust him.
You can't be serious.
Those are the terms. Take them or leave them.
No weapons, no tech, only my comms and watch.
Yes.
Report to the south entrance where I will be escorted to a secure location for interrogation.
Yes.
And you will keep me in chains until we recover Agent Kelso and she can vet me.
Those are the terms.
Deal.
You can't be fucking serious.
I wish I was joking.
The cabal.
Yes.
That's so 80s.
Yeah, they're older than that, but yes.
And she's one of them.
Yes.
Is Cal?
He wants to be, but his membership was never approved. Not enough money or legacy, just one of their lackeys.
This is insane.
It is. There are more lackeys, but unlike Cal, the Cabal doesn't keep a helpful list of their operatives on a USB drive.
Now this is where it gets interesting. We've always known of the rumors around Gordon Amherst receiving help from people deep within the government, but now we're hearing of a group called the Cabal. Natalia is a member, and while Calvin isn't, he's still associated, kind of like a groupie. The term Cabal originates back to 1667, where King Charles II assembled 5 ministers to form a secret or privy council. This particular council fell apart by 1672, but the term continued to be used for centuries to come. Sometimes called the Illuminati, the New World Order, or even the Global Elite, Cabal refers to secret factions working inside our governments with an agenda for world domination. It's unclear how Keener was able to find this out, but if this is true, the problem we are facing lies far deeper than just Natalia and especially Calvin. Like any secret society of this magnitude, secret and power are their currency. They have many heads, many names, and share the same belief that power and domination is the role of a select few. So even if we eliminate Natalia, someone will very quickly jump into her place. As a side note, this could also explain the secret owl room on Roosevelt Island, potentially the involvement of the Bohemian Grove, and the weird events and locations that Eva Garcia talked about at Kenley College. What a way to end the season. I have so many speculations running through my head. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we're now working with Keener. He may not be out in the field with us yet, but it's only a matter of time before we catch up with Theo and Kelso. And like I've mentioned before, we'll soon be entering an area full of Keener loyalists, including civilians and fellow agents. The mention of Cabal opens up so many different directions things could go in the long term. So while our mission right now is to stop the Black Tusk and Calvin, there will be a lot more for us to do. And how will Anna help us achieve this? Or will she become a bigger problem for us in the future? Anyway, that's enough for now. My wife has already started making notes on some speculation she has around the Cabal and some of these locations around the map that we've never really had definitive answers for, so I should probably get onto that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Extremis Malus, Extrema Remedia.